So, the new game Lawbreakers is actually doing really pretty bad at the moment. A new game came out a few months ago and it was called Lawbreakers. It was meant to be good. A lot of people, and me included, thought it looked a bit like Overwatch, which it fucking did. It was like a bit of a rip-off of Overwatch, but it still looked a pretty cool game. But now, a lot of people are saying it is a big, big failure. And I know people who like Lawbreakers are going to get pissed about this, but it is actually true. Lawbreakers has plummeted. Just this afternoon, well, just one afternoon, say I slipped up then and said it was today, but a couple of days ago, one afternoon, it plummeted to just 10 concurrent players, which, if you know about online gaming, that is really bad. I went on an old COD game and that's still got thousands of concurrent players. So that's how bad it is. That a game from like 2007's got more online players than that game that's just been out about 2 months. And when the game first launched into actually a massive like online concurrent base, when it launched its maximum peak was 3,000 players, which is you think it's a lot. You're sure 3,000 people, you think, oh, that's a lot, but really it's no, because when you look at like League of Legends and Dota 2 and stuff, that's got millions of concurrent players. It makes that look like a shadow in comparison. So the game did not take off as a good start. But when I saw that it only hit 3,000, I thought, yeah, it looks good enough. So I thought it looked good enough. So I thought, it'll pick up and it'll probably be popular like Overwatch is. But then no, it just kept getting worse. And Steam decided to do a free weekend, I think, just to try and boost up sales. But even on the free weekend, only 1,000 concurrent players were online at once, which is still, again, pretty bad. To say the game's a new game and to put it on the free weekend, it still did shit. And then, yeah, that afternoon, it dropped down to 10 concurrent players, which is really bad. To say that game is meant to be a big game, it's a AAA game, it's a lot of work put into it. To say it's only had 10 people online at once, that's pretty bad. 10 players online at once. Truthfully, in my opinion, I think the game's dead. It's fucking dead. It's been out 2 months and it's died. It's a AAA game, meant to be a AAA game, and it's died after 2 months, which is pretty bad. I think mainly because a lot of its game mechanics and where the game looks is similar to Overwatch. So I think people are thinking it's an Overwatch rip-off and just rather play Overwatch than play Lawbreakers. I don't think Overwatch servers and stuff will be Lawbreakers servers will be shut down or anything. But truthfully, I think this is going to be one of them AAA games that came out and just fades away in the first couple of months, because it's not going. I don't think the game's going to go anywhere. No matter how big it ain't got a big enough fan base, I'd say, to take it. I think if people took a bigger interest in it, they could revive the game and it could get the game going. But I don't know. At the minute, it's looking pretty bleak, the future of Lawbreakers. In my personal opinion, I think it's a bit too late. I think if they'd marketed the game more, advertised it more, maybe this wouldn't have happened. But at the minute, I think people are just bored of it, because when it launched, it only had 3,000 players on it. That's pretty bad. There's indie titles that have more players than that. And just to be honest, I think it was too much like Overwatch. And I think people who like Overwatch are just shrugged it off as a rip-off and just rather play Overwatch. Because Overwatch is a pretty good game. It's not my favourite game, but I think it's still a decent game. But I don't think Lawbreakers is going to get any better for me. I think it's just going to get worse and worse, to be honest. Because Lawbreakers came out as a AAA game, and it looked like, when I saw the trailer, it looked like it had a lot of potential. But now, after all that's happened, like, come on, it launched with 3,000 concurrent players, and they even did a free weekend where people could play it completely free for the weekend globally. Except for countries where it's obviously banned, or, well, countries where obviously like online gaming is banned or restricted. But out of all them countries, it only managed to muster up a maximum concurrent player base of 1,000, which is pretty bad. To say how the many millions of PC gamers are out there, and it only got 1,000 of them on at once. And then, when that free weekend was over, a couple of days later, it just dropped and dropped and dropped. And if you go on Steam's website, it'll show you like the player base on that, how it spiked up and went down. And even before the free weekend boosted up to 1,000 concurrent players, yeah. But when the free weekend ended, it just dropped off completely. It dropped to a mere 200 concurrent players, which that is really bad. Look, if you look, all the weekends leading up to the free weekend, it was topping out at 300 concurrent players, which is big, but not much. I've been on I've been on like new Minecraft servers that have had more users than they're on, and that's pretty bad. Cause it's just I think the game's a failure and it's dying. You know, it's bleak to say and a bit harsh to say how much work they've probably put into that game. And I can't imagine how bad it is for the developer. Because imagine putting putting all that hard work into a game, and it just been a flop and just flopping, and people not. I think it's done for. I'm sorry, but I think it's done. Because then the weeks after the free weekend, it plummeted to 200, then to 100 concurrent players, and now it's just dropped to 10 concurrent players. Which, unless the game developer decides to boost advertising and actually get it back up, I think if they did a massive advertising campaign, I think it could possibly boost the game up. But no, I know. I think it'd take a lot of money to boost advertising. If there's a lot of money to spare and spent it in advertising, I think the game would have a chance. But I don't think they'd risk putting a ton of money in advertising and it's still flopping. Because to be honest, the guy who made Lawbreakers is actually a pretty well-known guy. It's Cliff Basinski, if I'm saying that right. He formerly worked at Epic Games, which made the Gears of War series, and he's worked on all the Gears of War games except the new one, obviously. I think he actually worked on the new one on Gears of War 4, but he's worked on all the Gears of War games. He worked on the Unreal Tournament series and the Unreal Engine. And to say he's helped make them amazing games that's got millions of players on them and millions of people on their fan base. He left Epic Games to start his own game company, and then he made this game and it flopped, which you'd think with a big named guy like him who's helped make all them games. Like he helped make all them games. He was the designer. He was the designer and director for most games. For a lot of them games on the list here, that's a lot. He has worked on over 10 games at Epic, and just for him to bring his own, you think a big name like that behind it, you think when they bring a game out, you think, whoa, people would think, whoa, this guy made all these amazing games, I'll go and try it out. But it hasn't worked like that. It's just flopped. The game is just a flop, I think, and I'm sorry to say, but I think it's done for. I think in the next couple of months it'll fade out and just everyone will forget about it and get along with their day. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to smack that like button, and thank you guys very much for watching. Peace.